Beyond the Gates spoilers tease that Devon Hamilton Winters is about to shake things up in a way no one saw coming. Known to fans of the young and the restless as a suave, strategic powerhouse with a deep emotional core, Devon is stepping out of his familiar world and into the swirling drama of Fairmont Crest, and he isn't coming quietly. His arrival doesn't just mark a crossover event between two iconic soap storylines, it signals a seismic shift in the power dynamics already trembling beneath the surface of Beyond the Gates. Devon makes his first appearance on a rainy Thursday evening, stepping through the polished glass doors of Fairmont Crest's exclusive country club. The camera lingers on his tailored charcoal suit, the subtle glint of a platinum tie clip, and the calm focus in his eyes as he surveys the room. He isn't just here for cocktails. He represents Winters Media and Entertainment, a powerful firm known for elevating cultural voices and shaping music festivals, concert tours, and artist careers. And now, his arrival suggests a strategic partnership with Fairmont Crest, or perhaps something deeper. Before Devon can even speak, Anita Dupree leaps from her seat, her silk blouse rippling like a flag caught in the wind. "Devon," she exclaims, her voice unmistakably theatrical, "welcome to Fairmont Crest." Vernon Dupree, her husband, stands behind her with a carefully managed smile, the kind of expression that tries to hide tension under practiced grace. But the air shifts instantly. The entire club seems to lean in. Because Anita Dupree isn't just a socialite. She's one-third of the Articulettes, a girl group that once burned hot and bright before splintering in heartbreak. The Articulettes were poised for stardom until Anita married Vernon, stepping away from the limelight and leaving behind Tracy Tyler and Sharon Winger, who never quite recovered. Rumors swirled. Grudges calcified. And now, decades later, whispers of a reunion have grown too loud to ignore. The moment Anita sees Devon, she knows what it means: legitimacy. If Devon is here, the revival of the Articulettes is no longer a vanity project. It's a serious venture. With Winters involved, it could mean record deals, documentary features, music festival showcases. And perhaps redemption. Devon, ever composed, greets Anita with a smooth handshake and a neutral smile. He meets Vernon's eyes briefly. No words, but the tension is palpable. Vernon, an old-school businessman who once dabbled in talent management, knows this move might sideline him completely. Devon isn't here to play second fiddle to a fading impresario. He's here to bring real change. Later that night, Devon meets with the Articulettes privately. The room is dimly lit, scattered with old photos, stage costumes, and dusty instruments. Sharon Winger sits cross-legged on a velvet bench, strumming a guitar idly. Tracy Tyler paces. Anita adjusts her lipstick in a compact mirror, but her hands shake slightly. "Let's talk," Devon says, sitting at the head of the table. "I'm not here to rehash the past. I'm here to see if there's a future." He listens to their concerns, their regrets, their fears. Sharon is hesitant. She's been burned before, not just by Anita but by an industry that praised her voice while marginalizing her for everything else. Tracy wants back in, but only if it's real. No gimmicks. No nostalgia act. She wants to write new material. Be seen for who they are now, not who they used to be. Anita tries to assure them she's serious. That the marriage to Vernon is complicated, but not a conflict. She says she misses the stage more than she ever missed applause. Devon nods, takes notes, asks the right questions. He doesn't overpromise. But he makes one thing clear: Winters doesn't do vanity. If this happens, it will be authentic. It will be big. And it will be on their terms. The buzz begins immediately. Rumors swirl across social media. Old fans dig up footage from a 1999 live performance. Music bloggers speculate on what a comeback would look like in today's industry. Local papers publish side-by-side photos of the group then and now. The club leaks a rehearsal date. Devon uses the moment to scope out Fairmont Crest's full potential. He visits the city mayor, local arts councils, and even meets with a few university music professors to secure partnerships for mentorship and education programs. He sees the bigger pictorial cultural hub rising out of an aging town. one that could put Fairmont Crest on the national map. But Vernon isn't thrilled. Behind closed doors, he confronts Anita. "You brought him here without telling me," he says. "You're letting him take over." "I didn't bring him. He came. Because this is real now." "And what about us?" Anita pauses. She's tired of performing in private. "What about us?" The tension fractures what little peace they had. Vernon starts calling in favors, quietly reaching out to other entertainment contacts to try and sabotage Devon's deals. But Devon is 10 steps ahead. He knows how to navigate egos. He's seen more ruthless players than Vernon try to block progress, and they all learned the same lesson: you can't stop something that's already resonating with the people. Meanwhile, Tracy and Sharon start working on a new track. It's rough, full of raw harmonies and unresolved chords, but it's alive. The sound is different now, deeper, more textured. Sharon writes a verse about forgiveness that makes Tracy cry. Anita joins them during a late-night session and listens without singing. Then, quietly, she adds a harmony that locks the song into place. It's not perfect, but it's theirs. Devon brings in a sound engineer from New York, someone he trusts. They record a demo. It leaks. The response is massive. Fans tag the group in throwback posts, share reaction videos, create mashups. Suddenly, it's not about reliving the past. It's about reclaiming it. Amid the rise, Devon receives a call from his assistant. A network executive is interested in developing a limited docuseries on the Articulates' comeback, tying it into the legacy of female vocal groups and the modern music industry's evolution. It could premiere on a major streaming service. Devon sets up a meeting. Anita, Tracy, and Sharon gather for another rehearsal, this time in a rented theater. Devon watches from the back, arms crossed, expression unreadable. The curtain rises, just for practice. But for the first time in years, the lights hit their faces again. And they don't flinch. In the wings, Vernon watches too, arms folded. He doesn't interrupt. He just watches as the woman he once thought he had pulled away from the stage steps back into it like she never left. There is something final in his silence. Not defeat. Just acknowledgement. As the music swells, Devon turns and steps into the hallway, pulling out his phone. He begins to draft an email, tour routing options, dates, press strategy. His expression shifts, not to satisfaction, but to purpose. This is what Winters is meant to do. Not just deals. Not just exposure. Legacy. And with that, the stage is set. Not just for a comeback, but for a reckoning. What begins as a reunion may very well become a revolution. And Devon Hamilton Winters is right at the center of it. Devon Hamilton Winters arrives early to the production meeting, binder in hand, voice calm but direct. The streaming deal is moving forward, but Devon knows content is only half the battle. The Articulates can sing, but can they navigate the pressure of a comeback with the world watching? He needs more than just good music, he needs cohesion. And trust. At the same time, Anita Dupree is watching her marriage quietly erode. Vernon isn't hostile anymore, just absent, emotionally and now physically. He spends more nights at his downtown office than at home. The distance isn't painful, it's expected. Familiar, even. For Anita, the numbness is worse than the conflict. She's living with the ghost of a marriage while stepping back into the fire of performing. Meanwhile, Tracy Tyler is writing more than she ever has. Her new lyrics pull from the past divorces, disappointments, abandoned dreams and twist them into sharp, glittering hooks. She's the engine of the group now, pushing everyone to rehearse harder, write bolder. Sharon Winger, whose voice has taken on an edge over the years, keeps pace, but privately she questions whether she has the emotional bandwidth for fame again. The public eye wasn't kind to her the first time. The industry liked her voice, but rarely listened to her opinions. Devon picks up on the tension and arranges a weekend retreat outside Fairmont Crest. No cameras. No producers. Just a rented estate with a recording studio and enough food and wine to encourage honesty. That first night, nothing productive happens. The second night, something cracks open. Anita, sitting by the fire with a glass of red wine, admits that the night she walked away from the group wasn't about love for Vernon. It was about fear. "We were too close to making it," she says. "And I panicked. I couldn't handle the thought of losing it all. So I left before it could be taken from me." Tracy and Sharon both sit in silence for a long time. Then Tracy replies, "You did take something. But maybe now we get to make something new." By the end of the weekend, the group feels different. Not healed, not perfect, but aligned. They return to Fairmont Crest and finish their EP. 5 original songs. No covers. No nostalgia. Devon listens to the masters and gives only one note. "It sounds like now." That's the point. The docuseries filming resumes. The director focuses on moments both staged and unscripted. Sharon sitting alone backstage, Anita touching the old microphone stand like it's sacred, Tracy teaching a backup singer a harmony she wrote on a napkin. Devon appears in the background often, always moving, always managing. Then a twist. The night before the Articulates' first live public performance in over 20 years, Vernon announces a rival act. He's assembled a trio of younger singers, rebranding them as Articulates next. He claims it's a tribute, but Devon knows better. It's sabotage in a dress rehearsal dress. Media outlets run side-by-sides. The young group has big label backing, heavy PR, and digital buzz. Anita is furious. Sharon is hurt. Tracy is livid. Devon gathers them in the green room. "You have 2 options," he says. "Make this about a rivalry, or make this about what you really came here to do. Let them try. But you? You show them where it came from." Opening night at Fairmont Crest is sold out. People line the sidewalks. Old fans, new listeners, press, and influencers fill the venue. In the wings, Anita adjusts her in-ear monitor. Sharon breathes deep. Tracy leads the final prayer before curtain. The lights dim. The first chord hits. They own it. The harmonies are richer than ever. Not youthful, but powerful. Seasoned. Their new song, "Stand Still and Burn," is a slow build that explodes into a chorus about resilience. The crowd erupts. Mid-set, they perform a stripped-down version of their biggest old hit, reworked in minor key. It stuns. By the end of the night, there is no debate. The original Articulates are not a revival act. They are a revelation. Devon watches from the back, arms folded, eyes glassy. A text buzzes in his pocket. The streaming platform confirms they'll fast-track the docuseries to release ahead of awards season. A few days later, Vernon's group cancels their tour. The public wasn't interested. Not in a copy. In the weeks that follow, the Articulates begin planning a regional tour, balancing shows with masterclasses at music schools. Sharon, once hesitant, becomes the unofficial mentor figure for younger performers. Tracy starts collaborating with up-and-coming producers. Anita begins divorce proceedings, finally choosing herself over the illusion of loyalty. Devon receives an offer from the Winters board. Make this partnership long-term. Stay embedded in Fairmont Crest. Help transform the cultural landscape. He accepts. In one of the final scenes, the group stands under a banner that reads, "Fairmont Music and Arts Festival, powered by Winters." Anita, Tracy, and Sharon perform under the night sky as fireworks shimmer above. In the crowd, new faces and old rivals watch together. No one claps louder than Devon. There's no need for an encore. They've already arrived. Months have passed since the Fairmont Music and Arts Festival lit up the skyline, but the impact still ripples through the community like a sustained note in a perfect harmony. The Articulates' comeback has transformed from an isolated moment into a sustained movement. Their EP climbs the independent charts. The docuseries trends in its debut week and gets picked up for international distribution. But success isn't the end of the story. It's the beginning of what comes next and what success demands in return. Devon Hamilton Winters now splits his time between Fairmont Crest and Los Angeles. Winters Media has doubled down on arts initiatives, and Devon is spearheading new programs aimed at artist development in underserved regions. But he's also quietly started building something more personal, a legacy project rooted in Fairmont, combining performance space, artist residencies, and mentorship in a facility simply called The Bridge. He doesn't just want to support musicians. He wants to change the way the industry sees them. At the same time, Anita Dupree is navigating a second act that feels more like a first. Free from Vernon's shadow, she now owns partial rights to the original Articulates catalog after a lengthy legal battle. The court ruled in her favor when it became clear Vernon had forged certain signatures on early licensing documents. The ruling not only gave the group back control of their music, but cast Vernon into the margins of Fairmont's social elite. His efforts to rebuild his image have failed. He sells his stake in the club and quietly leaves town. Sharon Winger finds herself unexpectedly in demand. She's invited to guest lecture at a prominent music conservatory and, after hesitation, agrees to a semester residency. On campus, she becomes a magnetic figure, helping young vocalists understand not just the craft, but the emotional grit of being heard. A former student even asks to intern on the Articulates tour, and Sharon approves it with a smile. The mentor role suits her more than she expected. Tracy Tyler signs a co-writing deal with a pair of young producers out of Atlanta. Their experimental sound blends beautifully with her old-school melodic instincts, and soon she's not just writing for the Articulates, but for other rising acts, bridging generations without compromising either side. Devon returns to Fairmont to break ground on the bridge. The construction site buzzes with activity, and as he walks the perimeter in a hard hat and tailored coat, he gets a text from Anita. New demo. Sending now. Tell me what you think. Later that evening, Devon sits alone in his loft apartment overlooking the river. He listens to the track. It's raw, unfiltered. Just piano, vocals, and silence where a beat might go. The lyrics are about the danger of being seen after years of invisibility. It's Anita at her most honest, and Devon recognizes the opportunity instantly. He calls her. This isn't just a bonus track, he says. This is your solo project. Anita pauses. Would the others be okay with that? They'd want it for you. You stepped away for everyone else once. This time, do it for you. She agrees with one condition, that Sharon and Tracy both sing on one of the tracks. Not out of obligation, but celebration. Not a goodbye, but an evolution. The months that follow are packed. The group finishes their regional tour and signs on for a special performance at the Winterlight Music Gala in New York, a charity event that will be nationally televised. It's their biggest stage since the reunion. But it also marks the first time Anita will publicly debut a solo piece. In rehearsal, the group feels the shift. There are no hard feelings, just unspoken acknowledgement that change is coming. Sharon hugs Anita after a rough vocal take and says, "It's your time. Don't dim it for us." The night of the gala, the Articulates walk the red carpet together. Flashbulbs pop. Reporters shout questions. When asked about the future, Anita says, "The future is just a stage we haven't walked on yet." Their set begins with the group classics, tight harmonies, and commanding presence. The crowd is electric. Then, the lights dim. A single spotlight follows Anita to a grand piano. She sits, breathes, begins. The room goes still. Her voice is lower, fuller than fans remember. Every note is precise, but emotionally unguarded. The song is titled After the Applause, and it speaks of waiting for silence, of craving the moment when the performance ends and the truth begins. When she finishes, the applause is thunderous. Devon stands first. Backstage, Sharon and Tracy embrace her. They don't talk about the past. They talk about what's next. Weeks later, Anita is invited to join a panel on the evolution of women in music. Sharon is nominated for a National Teaching Award. Tracy gets a publishing deal. And Devon? He watches it all unfold while finalizing the first artist residency applications for the Bridge. One name catches his eye, a teenage girl from Chicago who submitted a cover of an old Articulates track. Devon smiles. Full circle. Fairmont Crest, once defined by what it lost, now pulses with creation. The old wounds remain, but they're not scars. Their signatures. Proof that these stories happened, that these voices mattered. And the music plays on.